Welcome to the Three River Valley series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 8th of July 1940. Since the end of the last video, I've done a number of changes which I will go through just to speed up the planning process. But before that, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about. I do really enjoy the fact that you give me suggestions, you point out my mistakes, and all I can say is the feedback on the last video has been absolutely awesome. And probably to go through some of the key comments, there was a little bit of discussion about my coal mine here, which I took on board, and I've kind of improved the overall situation a bit more. As somebody pointed out, that this coal mine should provide enough coal for a population of up to about 25,000. I agree with that in principle, but I just feel that this town is in the wrong place because the river kind of isolates it away, and it's going to take us a little while to rebuild the railway. But to follow on through that, what I've actually done is, in this kind of big mess here, I've added a steel mill, which is here. It's a small steel mill. It's not going to produce vast quantities of steel. It's not a full-size one. Coming to factory, it's this one here. It's going to produce about 12 tons of steel a day with 150 workers, and it's going to require 112 tons of coal. But the big issue is bringing the iron ore in, or not the iron ore, the iron in. And what I've done is I've built this small aggregate store here, so that because we're going to have to truck the iron down to here to get this running. I've also, over here, this is an addition I've just literally quite made, that's why it's showing as dark here, is I've actually put a small brick factory down here with an open store there, which is a bit bigger, because I'm kind of been looking at this brick factory up here. I think the solution to the worker situation up here is to reduce these industries down. So what I'm looking is that eventually, well, once we get the power plant built, the power plant will come down. And then once we get the brick factory down there, because it's the same brick factory as this, but the difference will be is this will be connected to the coal mine. So this brick factory is only really here to support my construction in this area. Once the brick factory down there comes online, we'll get rid of this one. And of course, the advantage with that is that by taking this industry away, this area will be a little bit cleaner, and we won't get that pollution creeping across the map. And more importantly, I can push the workforce in this area into other things, and that other thing most likely may need to be a full-size food factory. But the problem is we're going to have to think about possibly another farm, because I've just been doing the calculations, because we got our food factory here, which is producing enough food at the moment to kind of keep this going. But based on your feedback, guys, and all the out of industry down here, this town, which originally I was going to have, say, a max population of about 2,000 workers, is probably going to now need to go up to about possibly 3,500 workers to support all these industries out here. I've also given this area a name, and it's called Black Country, and because it's such a large area, the town is going to be called Black Country. I've also created Black Country Industry up here and Black Country Construction hidden in here somewhere. And the reason I've done that is so that this whole area here is now called the Black Country. Now, if any of you are not familiar with what that reference means, it relates to a name given to, I think it was the Midlands or the East Midlands in the time of the Industrial Revolution, because the whole area, especially all the buildings, were black because of all the soot from all the masses of chimneys. And I thought, because this is becoming such an industrial complex now, I thought, well, that might be an apt name for it. So this is going to be called Black Country. So when I talk about Black Country going forward, I'm referring to this whole area. If we come over here, some of you may have caught a glimpse of the fact that my railways, which I built in the last part, are now back in template mode. And the reason for that is that I got a very timely reminder that I was actually building these the wrong way. And I think part of the problem was I was a bit obsessed with the difference between diesel trains, electric trains. So I laid electric track. But as was pointed out, that's not particularly very efficient when it comes to building track, because the best way to build track is in a two-phase process. And if I actually go into here, we'll just accept all that now because it's been built. The way it works is when you're building two-phase track is that, well, I'll just explain how track lane trains work. Now, if these were the original electrified track, which is this up here, what happens is the construction train would come out of the construction office, come down here and say, for example, this little area here, we've got lots of short lengths of track. What it will do is it would come in, lay the first layer, which is this layer here, and lay the track. Then it would go back, pick up the electro components to the overhead wires, which means that the construction train would do 2 trips for each length of track. That's okay when the distance is really short like this. If you're working, say, once we get round to over here, because I've now extended the track to the border, that means that there's a lot of running backwards and forwards. Now, by laying the concrete track first, what happens is the construction train comes out here with hopefully a full load of concrete and prefabs and steel, and then it will keep going down the jobs until it runs out. And then that also applies when you do the electro component. So for maximum efficiency with laying track, especially at distance, is to lay the concrete track, then upgrade it to electro track if you want electric trains, and then that will mean that the construction trains are working at maximum efficiency. I also got a question about metros and boring machines. Boring machines are very specialized track construction. They won't build anything else. All they will do is bore tunnels underneath. The only thing I haven't tested is whether they will bore normal tunnels. So maybe that is something we're going to look at later on. So what I've done over here is I've laid the track out through here. I've come out this way and I've put a crossover here. And again, I think this is going to be something that's going to be quite important in realistic mode, that this is going to be my extension up the map. But if I want this track to be functioning normally, you've got to prepare these crossovers and a little bit of track beyond so that the construction train can move into here, so you can put the signals here. And what that will mean is that you can have sections of track on future expansion. And in realistic mode, that's going to be quite important, because the last thing you want is construction trains running backwards and forwards on the wrong sides of the lines and things like that. Anyway, what I've done is I've pushed this all the way through. And did get a suggestion about following the track I'd laid, and I did through here. And what I did was I effectively upgraded it. That's why it's not 100% straight. But what I've done is over here, I brought the track a bit closer to the river. One, to make some space on this side, because we may be looking at possible farms or something, or maybe up here. I'm not sure, because farming is going to be a little bit of an issue. The principle I've adopted is that it's easier to put a road over a railway than to run a railway over a road. So these kind of level crossings at the moment may disappear once I decide to sort the road out. But at the moment, I'm more interested in the rail track. So what we've got now to here is the railway line. I kind of debated about sending the railway up here. If I open up the map, we've got a little bit of iron up here. Sorry, a little bit of coal, but we've got a big patch of coal on the left hand side there. But I think it'd be easier to get the rail line in another way than up this slope. And then we got this really big patch of iron which I would like to bring online, but I'm starting to think that based on my experience over here with the cableway, that it might be better to possibly put an aggregate loading station here, which will then be used to move the iron ore to over there. But then that, or maybe what we'll do is we'll build a town up here, because the iron is over here. Let me just see. Of course, we can use our new tab and just lock that on so the iron's locked. Where's the iron mine? See the iron, so we got a little bit of patch here and here. So what might do is build a town here. Mine the iron up there, or maybe build the town there because the iron mines are over there. We got a bit of iron here. Let me just see. Pull it up here. Yeah, we could build the town here. Although drainage will be a little bit of a challenge. Where we're going to put the wastewater. And then what we could do is process the iron ore into iron here, then ship it down with cableways to here to maybe a aggregate loading, and then we could use a train to ship the iron ore, or well, we could probably do it with a truck actually, because this won't need that much iron. And then, although we'd still probably put an aggregate loading here to send the iron ore to other parts of the map, but maybe we'll do the initial delivery with trucks so that we can get the steel mill going using iron from there. Now what I want to do in this part is work on this town, and this is the reason why I've put this free construction office in here with a couple of excavators in, because if you watch the previous part I had a problem with a little bit of leveling. I've also put this road in because I did get a suggestion about footpaths and connecting up this to the main town, and I quite like that idea. So what I've done is I've looked at this road here and I thought, well, I'm going to build in this area, so a main road going into here would be worthwhile. The other thing I've just noticed, I've looked at this map so many times and I still missed it. I'm just going to put that in there. Now before we work on the town, I just want to give you a bit of an update further up. Our cable way is now working, and I think we've got I can't remember how many. I think we got 10. No, we've got 12 little truck wagons coming backwards and forwards. That reminds me, I've got to find the truck that's meant to be delivering them, because it's running around at the moment not doing anything. I think he's picked them all up now. Actually, I mean, I think we can have up to 43 on here, so let me just, I've forgotten about that truck. He's a little bit annoying. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just buy, I don't know where he'd be, that's the problem. Well, where we can find him actually is from here, can't we? You have a route associated with this. Where are you? Yeah, you're there. Let's send you to, yeah. I don't think I want to add any more to it. You can go there. Now over here, after my problems with my population, we still haven't really got back to where it was at the beginning of the winter last year. Oops, I don't know why I've got that. But it's getting back there. You can see we still got a little bit of unemployment. The happiness is a bit lower. So it's last chance to buy a tank. So the happiness is coming back again. More importantly, the health is back now. If I come in here and show you, we're getting a little bit more health back now. We can get back to 84%, 78%, 86%. Loyalty is getting there. You can see I've got 39% loyalty in here. I've got 47% loyalty in this place. But of course the problem is that that's only a small place, and we got 39% loyalty here. So we are getting the population kind of coming back into our town. So hopefully, given time, we might actually start to punch through that 40% so that we can increase these to 40%. It's one change I would really like. I know I've mentioned this before, is I wish there was a bit more graduation on these sliders rather than 5%. I think it would make a big difference with respect to managing some of that. In fact, personally, I'd get rid of the slider and put a box so you can type the percentage in. so that you can actually control exactly by 1%. So there. Um, Electronics industry here is okay. It's probably the polite way of saying it. You can see so we're still having to import the occasional electronics. Brick industry. We're getting some stuff into here as well. This warehouse has got a little bit of a problem. I think we're now on July the 22nd. And I think we've just started picking up there. So I want to check this first. Yeah, so 246 in each of those, 1,000. Yeah, so we're gonna have to be a little bit careful with the new town because, well, I'll just speed the game up, I think, now for a little while. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to be a little bit more careful with the new town because we may not have enough crops to keep the industry going. And I don't really want to start importing crops unless I have to. So we're certainly going to need to look at maybe expanding these farms and making them a bit more efficient. We have got no, we haven't got capacity on here, but we do have some more capacity here. Get more tractors and combines in here. So that might be an option. So rather than building another farm, we could push out and try and gather more crops, but then that will lead into a demand for more storage. Just want to check here. Okay, we've now got this ambulance thing here. So we're going to need to buy an ambulance. What we got here? I don't think it makes a lot of difference. Top speed would be... that one's actually faster and cheaper, so... we'll just send you to there. That should completely cover our healthcare now. Everything else is okay. I'm not too worried about this warehouse. Just had a bit of a coughing fit. What I've got down here at the moment is I'm prioritizing this construction office here because we've got gravel down here at the moment, but we've only got the one truck currently using this gravel. And what I want to do is make this into name this black country. Whoops, don't want capitals. For you, black country gravel. And what this will do, and the idea what I'm gonna be doing is bring down some dumpers here to deliver the gravel, but the one that's at the top, I'll leave just on gravel and asphalt until such time as we got this area built here. Anyway, guys, we've now got the excavators. Now I think we can do some bit more work. Now the first thing I want to do is finish off what I was trying to do over here, which is to put a warehouse in. I think. Oh, look at that. I think I'd like if I could do that, and then we could put I missed that bit, didn't I? And put you in there to drop off, and then we can run this here onto that junction. We won't split that. So what that means is we have a warehouse here and an open store. The warehouse is going to be quite important long term because as the economy grows, and somebody actually did, when someone asked me mentioned the 25,000 population which the coal mine up here will support, I kind of gave away the game a little bit because what I'd like to do on this map, time permitting, is try and beat my record for a series of getting a population in excess of 125,000 on the map. So eventually this warehouse will become quite important to deliver key essentials like food and electronics, because eventually this town we will want, because of course I'll still be aiming for self-sufficiency. So that is that. Our actual little camp here is coming together quite nicely. The one thing I've forgotten to do is put the water supply side on over here. And what I want to do is we're going to do that first. And I'm just going to zoom out because I want to cover this side of the town. So they only need to put water to. So I'm hoping that I want the water to the asphalt plant. So maybe we're gonna have to compromise and just put it about there. Maybe a little bit south next to the sewage outfall. And what I want to do is put in a large water pump. Is it a big water pumping station? And what I'd like to do is put that about there. Put you there. And then after that we're going to put a water switch. Put the water switch about there. So we're going to run large pipes. Now the reason I'm using a large pump is that I can do this. A large pump can send water to about 3 substations because it's fully pressurized. That's why I've put the water switch in. Also, if you need extra capacity, you can put a second line in. And what I'm hoping is that... Okay, let's just redo that. I think I'm going to have to go lower down. So just come out of here. Prosecute. Get some depth. No, it's not. I'll go down again. We'll build this in sections. But in theory, it should all connect up in one go. So that'll become a single job. Yep, that's good. So that's going to be our water supply line for the beginning. And we're going to need to build that before we can populate the camp. One thing I do want to check is to make sure... Oh no, because what I've done is I've set this to do not allow citizens, and this covers this whole area. Yeah. We don't need to put that in. Get rid of that. I don't want and put this here, that into there, and of course we're going to have to allocate. These need gravel. Yes, they do. Okay, when this is finished, we'll get these guys putting that. So we need to start building that. So the next thing I want to put in is a university. And I'm thinking that because this is getting a bit close to the industry, we're going to put the university over here. We're going to use my favorite, which is the Lenin, what we call it. Like for that, you in there. Now, housing is been a bit difficult because I've got a couple of requirements for housing. I don't want to use prefabs. I want a best possible quality because this industry is really pressing in on this town. Therefore, health could be an issue with pollution. And that's another reason why I've called it the Black Country, because obviously back in the Victorian times in the Midlands, it was not exactly the healthiest place in the world to actually live. I just spotted that these guys might need assistance from the diggers. Oops. This looks like it's already on there anyway, So what I'm going to be looking at as well, I was looking at before. I'll tell you up front, guys. There's no point pretending that I'm suddenly going to put it together now. I was looking at residential properties, and I think I can find them. I've got so many pages of the Ampere houses. So we got some Ampere houses here, and these actually have a 94% flat quality. They don't need prefabs, and in some ways they kind of half look like they belong. And they kind of look a little bit neoclassical. So a bit big actually. Got these are 300 workers. I'm sure I've got other Ampere houses. Let me just look. Let me just, what we got here. That a bit too, that's a bit big, isn't it? 320 workers. Wow. This is the ones I'm looking at. Yeah, these are a little bit more in keeping. So this has got 220 workers in. Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll put in, because what I'm looking for is a population about 3,000, and I want the center to be quite dense. And what I'm looking at is a kind of a population. Actually, we could put it in that way. Maybe put a couple like that. And I don't want it kind of super compressed. Maybe run through there. We'll just hook those up to there. And what I want to do is just put in a quick dirt road there. And where, yeah, so those people will walk to some of the industries there. So I don't want to come much closer than that. So we got, so that's, and it's the same on this side. I don't want, I think what we'll do is we'll put some smaller houses in on this side. I've lost the, well, we got some Marcolopus, sorry, can't pronounce this. About these. These are only 54. Maybe we could put a couple around here. Maybe we could put a couple of these in here. Or are they just too big? Oh, we got left and right hand. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. So maybe we'll put in a left and a right hand one like that there. These are only 54 workers. These could be the local workers. So we could put a couple of those in there. And then again, these don't need prefabs. I've lost the Ampere houses again. Where did you go? And they've got a 98%. Maybe we'll put 4 of them in like that, just on this corner here. That gives us what, 200 people, and we could come down this way behind, maybe like that in a row. Like that. I don't want it to be exactly square. So we got that area there. If we have apartment blocks there, that could put in connection to there. We could put a bus station over here, which will take some of the workers out to there. So we've got a whole row of blocks here, which we can fill in. Remember, we've got to put other ancillary stuff in as well. We haven't got a theatre there, university. We've got the shopping mall there, which can be connected in with footpaths. We've got the hospital. We've got the fire station. But we've got no schools, but we can put the schools around the outside. And of course, we've got the ubiquitous kindergartens, which we're going to need lots of. Now, kind of back to powerhouses again. Got an old gate block. We could put that in. That is 90 workers. We got 45 workers. We could put in, say, we got a new vehicle type. We could put that in there. Actually, I've never done this before. We could put in, say, 2 buildings like that, and then can we connect through like that? Never done that before. We'll give that a go. I'm going to do it. I might as well do it properly. Okay, let's get that there. Take that road out. Put on F1. Not going to help us that much. Right, back to the house. What was it again? Old gate block. I think that lines up a little bit better, doesn't it? We're gonna have to work on the sewage, because I think these guys will be out of range of the sewage outfall. Due to there, so that would give us another range of buildings. I think that will be enough accommodation just at the moment. We've got a lot to build in now, so and then we can just add extra as and when things happen. Oh, I've split this road here. That's messed up these guys. Oh well, that's the way it goes. So this has now become 3 roads. Right, we've now got gravel guy in here. And he's probably auto detected everything but the kitchen sink. Let's pause. I don't want the only thing. I leave you on buildings, but I don't really want all this lot, so we're just gonna get you. Actually, I don't even want you on buildings. Actually, take you off buildings. Your black country gravel. We're gonna need to add you to my. I think I need to build a new in here. We're gonna have to come here, and we're gonna assign you there, and we'll assign you. I think we'll leave. Where's that? My little botched. What we call it? Where are you? There. So this will be my new local construction office type thing. And what we got here. Right, looks all my gravel trucks are busy. That's not good, because I want you into here. I want to get at least 2 of you working down here. Maybe we'll pick up you as well. I know I'm going to mess up my building program, and I think what we'll do is, I think I've got a truck excavator I put in here. I want in here as well. Right. What we will need to do is Actually, I've just thought about it. This is quite a big place, so I think I will put the asphalt onto here. It's a long way to go, but it's hard. No, we're gonna. What we'll do is we'll make. Why are you auto detecting all this stuff? Oh well. We'll just leave you on this. No, you're gonna take off all. What is up with these guys? I've got a feeling that I've made the same mistake here as I did before. Oh, High Valley Buses is in here. It's again, it's down to workforce. Anyway, we've got this built now, so I think maybe we need to consider the kindergartens and the school now. I mean, the default game kindergarten is 100. I think this is misleading. This nursery block is, it says 210, but if I come up to here, sorry about moving across the map where I am. See, I built a nursery block here. This is the nursery block, but I've never seen this get to 210, even when it's got 15 workers in here. So I think that might be a little bit misleading. Plus, I don't think does it fit. Let's just see kindergartens. What can we do with kindergartens? Okay, we got a little bit of a problem here. Let's get the bigger crews on this. Back to, I think it might be time to start moving some construction offices down here. I mean, the road crews on here, it's just that they're a bit stretched because we've only got the one paver and the one roller. I want to asphalt these roads through here. I think it's going to be quite important, so we do need to get a lot of this asphalted out and ready to go. Right, we're just going to leave you there for the moment. Eventually we will allocate you so that you can go out and do some work, but I just want to make sure we can get the planning done. Kindergartens, let's have a look at kindergartens. Is that too modern? 168, 216. That might fit. In fact, there's a possibility that we could kind of put this just on here. This would fit with what that's going, and then we could put a school here as well. But the private school, which would fit right alongside again, like that. Only 150 pupils. We could put the private school there. Very difficult to see with the yellow outline. So we'll put the private school there. Yeah, that's really annoyed me a little bit, but I don't think there's much I can do about it. So we've got a school, a kindergarten there. Of course, we got heating as well. Yes, I haven't put the heating pipes in. Right, let's just have a look at the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger. Right, these don't need heating. That needs heating. My instinct is to put the heating plant out there. Quite interesting. Yeah. Of course, we're going to need to put power in as well. Yeah, I think if we put the one heating in about there, which then kind of opens up the possibility that we need to put that road up there. And then, of course, we're going to have to we're going to go underground, large heating pipe. Where's the... Makes sense. That's the coal power. Coal or... There's the heating plant, isn't it? Okay. And we're... You up to there. We need to get that connected. We got the heating. So much to build. So we got the heating plant up there, which will come into there. What are you building here? Secret police. Okay, we need that built. And we've got a lot of the buildings put together here. We got the food shop that's got food and meat in it. We've got the hospital here that's going to need a little bit of extra work. Got that heating plant, but my instinct is to... This road isn't really being used, so I think this is going to become one of our main town roads, so we'll get that in there. Really feel that, I know it's a long way away, but the actual pavers and rollers I want to keep up in here because we've got a little bit more asphalting and stuff to do up here. So where are you? I think you're the paver guys. Probably is we're gonna have to bring in, gonna be a bit risky, but we've only got 61,000. Let's see if we can get another roller and another paver. Painful that is. Now I don't really want these one. I suppose I could. What's got a Mack truck? It's 12,000. That's a low boy. That's 42. That's a bit faster. This is 40. This is... We'll carry 40 tons of steel. This will carry... These are both the same. This will carry less. It's 2 miles an hour faster. I think we're just going to send these guys to... They're just going to have to... It's a lot. It's going to take them ages to get there, though. That's the problem. I mean, at 5 miles an hour, yeah. Okay, we're gonna buy another lowboy. Open hole. It's gonna cost me a fortune, but I don't think we've really got a choice here. Oh, what's this? This is an IKH series open. Was that not listed on here? Okay, let's have a look. Ooh. Will that carry the bulldozer as well? Let me just look. It won't carry the paver. Let me just open this up. That's interesting. It won't carry the paver. So we're stuck with the low boy. So one would, it would carry the 13.5. So it won't carry the... Oh. I'd like to buy this. But it won't. If it won't carry both, there's no point in using them. So we'll just have to stick with the low boy. That's a bit unfortunate. Open hole. Yeah, that's okay. We're gonna have to buy the low boy. Okay, and we'll have to send the low boy to there. What are you? Oh, you're picking up prefabs. Haha. Right. And of course he's going to go to the gas station. It's just over here. I've got a new vehicle type. That looks like that's a 15B drag. I don't think that's going to be much use. Okay. You're going to have to go in there. You're going to have to pick up a vehicle. And you're going to have to go all the way to here. And you're going to drop off there. And we'll just get back over here just to make sure. I'm curious to see whether here pick up both or whether just pick up one. No, he's just picked up the one. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on him so that he will do whatever's necessary. What we'll do eventually is have we've got enough spaces for one more there. What are you? Why are you? A little bit confused over why these back trucks. We've got the one asphalt truck there working. Not Mack truck there. Did I set? Whoops, no. Are you picking up asphalt and gravel? Yep, okay. So we could keep this functional for up here. I think these guys I really need down below now because most of the detail work up here is finished. This is still crawling very slowly. So we're going to need another construction office down here. Right, okay. Let me just, okay. I think we can just assign these guys to some of these jobs here. Try and get some of this work done. And footpaths as well. Though I think a lot of this is to do with, I don't know, we'll get these guys out. They can start finishing off this part of the road. Again, they're not going to win any awards for speed. Right, I need another construction office down here. What have we got here? We've got this construction office. We've got, this one's got some space in it, but I'd rather have a separate one for my dig crew. Which, no, it's a small, we need a small construction office to tuck in somewhere down here. Did we just see? Just tuck you in here. Press the shift control key. Actually, we could probably put it directly onto here now. This is just I don't want to waste asphalt on this one, so in fact we'll put you there and we'll get that built. And what we'll do is we'll move the guys down, get this built. So many jobs, got way too many jobs, that's the problem, and not enough workforce. See, there's no point in bringing the buses down for the construction office because the moment they're picking up here, if we build that down there, it's going to be a bit of a problem. Still got this excavator here. I think we could probably use you to try and speed up some of these roads. That's built. This is built. I'll assign you to there. It's last chance to buy. Let me just get rid of you. Annoying me. Just, I'm a bit confused over why. Oops. Bit confused over why I can't buy. Let me just look at the excavators then. Got a full set of excavators. But then again, I've got to start learning to live with using the Soviet vehicles because earning dollars is a very slow process. And oh, the other thing we're going to need down here is a technical office. Where can we put a technical office? We got these guys coming down to here. I don't want them going up that way, so my inclination is to put a technical office down here. And I think this one needs to be fairly big. This is where it's going to say not enough excavators. I'm using them elsewhere. Okay, maybe we can get you in there. Yeah, if I put it here, he's far enough away. Yeah, I think we'll put technical services in there because that will also work with water supply should I need it, and sewage disposal, though I shouldn't need it. And what that will do is then help me with that side of the supply system. Actually, talking of sanitation, let me just go up to here. Because of course we've also got this pipeline that's being built here. Too many jobs, too many jobs. Well, how are we doing? I want to check my warehouses. We got 30 tons of food in there. I'm wondering. Let's have a look at my. What are you dropping off? Pine Valley food store. I think what we might need to do is just push these up a little bit. Actually, it'll just occur to me. I'm Highview food store. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Meat. Maybe I need a distribution office just to supply this area and split the two apart, but maybe not just at the moment because we don't need those services. I think we probably need a bit more. Got 94 tons of crops in there. Okay, we're on the 22nd of November. Let's just see how well we're doing here. Got a little bit of capacity. We've got most of these fields in. This field's under control. This field's under control. This one's not quite ready for harvesting yet. This one isn't quite keeping up. These are empty. This is empty. So we're getting into a pretty... Oops. This one is... Maybe we need to upgrade these roads. I'm going to miss my Mack trucks. Now look at that. See, that's under control. Brilliant. That's done. That's done. I think there is the possibility of... Because at the moment, this farm has effectively... And these guys aren't exactly doing anything at the moment. There could be a case for possibly another field up here, a large field up here, if we could get it in. Because we probably, we put in, say, another tractor in here, we wouldn't need extra combine because these fields are cleared. What we need is an extra tractor, because if the tractors get out and sow the fields earlier, they will then mature earlier, which means we will then get more, the combines can get out and actually harvest them. Let me just have a quick look, see if we can sneak another field on. We could put a big field here, maybe about there, and then we could just hook it in with mud roads. And then, whoops, you there. But what we will need to do is sort out the distribution down here, because at the moment this farm is fabric drop, main crop drop. I could probably remove the fabric drop from here. Oh, I didn't need to remove it anyway. Just put you on there as a pickup. Put the fabric drop back in again. Keep the fabric drop on there. And we'll see if that extra field will make a difference. But we will need to work on extra storage. Although technically, the more workers we get into here, the more of these crops that will get consumed. I'm a bit worried about why. I'm sure I had one of these guys set to export pickup. 80% food. Then again, he might not have enough vehicles here to, because a lot of the vehicles here are actually open holes, so maybe that's not, that's okay. Right, let's have a quick look. How much food are we exporting? 27 tons. So we are making, we exported 52 tons of food last month. That's not bad, actually. And as usual, I have lost complete track of time. Apologies, guys, for the length of this video, but this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. Because we got such a backlog of jobs down here, what I'm going to do is my usual thing is I'll play through the winter and I'll see you on the other side. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.